Hello everyone, and welcome to another segment on introduction into HTML. In this section, we'll be discussing about HTML, how you can access your browser using HTML, how you can write code using HTML, and what is HTML, and how does HTML work in general. So in this section, I'll be teaching you what you need to know about HTML, the basic structure of HTML, and what you will need for this course so as to follow along is you need a text editor and just your browser, a text editor and your browser. And the text editor, you can get anyone, you can download anyone. You can use Visual Studio, you can use Sublime, you can use Notepad plus plus, and you can use a whole lot of them. There are numerous, there are a whole lot. So in this section, we'll start off by creating the basic syntax, the basic format, the basic structure of an HTML document. So the first thing we're going to do first is we're going to create a new folder. We'll create a new folder for that. A folder of which we'll be using to work. So now you come to the desktop. So inside this your desktop now, you come to the top, to the upper part where there are different collections here. Then you click on new folder. So after clicking on new folder, okay, then you let's save this folder as um exercise, exercise. Okay, exercise, yeah. So you go into the folder. After going into the folder, going inside the folder, you click another folder, and we can, let's save it as CSS. It's not that we are using the CSS for now. We are not using the CSS for now, but we are just keeping it here for as we proceed the class, then we start using CSS. But for now, we'll just base on HTML. So you go back to your Sublime, to your text editor, or to your anyone, or Visual Studio, whatever. You go back then, and let's try to save. You create a new file. As you enter, you're already on a new file. You can save using Control Shift I for saving a new file. Sorry, Control Shift S for saving a new file. And so what we'll do now, we'll now go back inside the desktop. Then we're gonna look for the folder we created, and the folder was exercise, if I could recall. Okay, exercise is here. That's the folder, yeah. So inside this folder now, we're going to, let's say this file we want to save now. Let's save it as let's say index. I want you to notice something here, index.html. I want you to notice something. Whenever you are saving an HTML document, an HTML file, you must always make sure it ends with .html, so that the browser can know that this file is an HTML document. So whenever you're saving, you should save as .html. As you can see, I'm hovering around it currently, so you should save .html. So let me save now. Okay, as you can see, I've saved. So now let me go back to that exercise. You can see the index.html. The index is already here, which is the file we just created, the HTML file we just created. So in this section, I said we will be talking about HTML. So if I may ask, what is HTML? You see, HTML is the standard markup language used for creating a web page. You see, is a markup language that we use to create a web page. Whatever text format structure you when you go on your browser, you go into some webs, and you click on the browser, you check some sites out, and you see text, and you see the way the structure and a whole lot of things. You see that is the way those stuffs are being used, are put in there with the use of index with the use of HTML. Yeah. So you see, HTML is an hypertext markup language. That's the acronym of HTML. The acronym of HTML simply means hypertext markup language. Yeah. So you see, we come across all kind of documents every day of our lives, such as like newspaper, insurance form, shop catalogs, etc., etc. The list goes on. You see, many web pages out act like electronic version. For example, you see, many web pages act like as electronic version of those normal hardware newspaper we normally see. But you see, those hardware stuff like newspaper, you see the newspaper, they show some stories in print as they do on websites. You can apply for insurance over the web, and stories have online catalog and e-commerce facilities. You see, in all kinds of documents, structure is a very important it is very important in helping us to understand the message which is developers are trying to convey. So in this section, I will be creating the basic structure of a web page. You can see this is the basic structure of a web page. We start with doc type HTML. This doc type HTML is what helps the browser is what tells the browser that, look, this is an HTML document. This is an HTML document. And when we come down here, see, this is HTML. This HTML now helps us to understand, helps the browser, to understand that this is the whole content of an HTML page, the whole content, the opening tag and the closing tag. And you see, like this now, this is an element, and at the same time you can also call it a tag. And this HTML element now is this HTML. Whenever you are creating a website, everything goes inside the HTML document. It's just like the HTML is the container of everything you are going to be putting inside a website. Inside anything you see inside a website, they are all passed or imputed inside an HTML document. And if you check this head now, this head is where we can put in title. We can put in a whole lot of title and links for CSS and the rest. On our later video, we'll be talking about things we can add inside there. But now we're just talking about the basic structure and creating a web page for a start. So this title element, we can put in let's say the title of what we are into, or let's say the company name, let's say anything. Okay, for now, let me say Dave Large. Okay, Dave Large Aqua Limited. Okay, Aqua Ltd. Yeah. So this is the head. Like I said, the head encompasses of the title, and it also carries links, and at the same time it also carries meta tags. Don't worry, we'll go when we go further on, we'll talk about those things. So in the body is where you put in every information. Every information goes in here, every data goes into the body tag, the body element, or anything you are doing, it all goes into the body elements. So the body elements is like is also like a container. It's like the soul of a website. It's just like the soul whereby you can put in everything, anything you are putting inside your web page, they must all go inside the body element. So in this body element let's say, okay, let's put like an heading, h1. Let's put like an heading h1, okay, like an heading now. Oh, you see this heading now, let's say we put in welcome to welcome to Devlage, Ltd. Welcome to Devlage Ltd. Yeah, okay. So you see this h1 now is the heading element, is the heading tag. It's like when you are writing a book, the book will the book carries an h1 element, like an heading. After a heading, then we can put in paragraph, like let's now say paragraph, okay. Like let's say we're writing a story now. Welcome to Devlage Ltd. Let's now say Devlage Ltd. Devlage Ltd deals with all kinds of marine food. Okay, yeah. So that is it for paragraph. So you can see with this h1 tag, this is the if I click on, let me click on save now, so we can inspect, we can check. Let's open our browser so we can check what we're doing. So you see now, you can see, this h1 is written like in bold and in black, in thick black, stipulating welcome to Devlage Ltd, welcome to Devlage Limited. You see, then the paragraph follows. It says Devlage Ltd deals with all kinds of marine. Okay, as you can see, that's simple. It's very easy. And for let's I forgot to say something. And this title now, you see this title now that I wrote here, Devlage Aqua Limited. You see this title now is no, you cannot see it here in your browser. You cannot see it here. But notice, if you notice at the top icon, the favicon, you can see it's showing here Devlage Aqua Limited. That's like the title of your web page. Understand? So we'll continue by let's say let's give it an h2, let's say h2 is like a subsection, Devlage heading 2. Sure. And we can still continue by creating another paragraph, sorry, okay, another paragraph by saying we will sell seafood. Okay, seafood of different kinds. Okay, we sell seafoods of different kinds. Let's say eg let's say okay let's say let's say fish. Let's say crab. Let's say shark. You guys are not scared now. Let's say shark, and in fact a whole lot of them, a whole lot of more of them. So now let's save now, and let's go back to our browser and let's check it out. And you see, this is the H2 element, and you can see the H2 element now is small compared to the H1 element. The H1 element is bigger, is bigger and bold, and the H2 element is still bold, but it's smaller. This is what we call the subsection. It's a subsection. So you see, all we are trying to do now is all about creating a structure. It's all about creating a structure for your website, and the H element also comprises of of H3 heading 3, heading 3, let's say H4. Oh god, I'm used to Visual Studio. H4, let's say heading 4, and let's say H5. Oh god, Visual Studio is sweet, man. H5, let's say heading 5, and the last one H6. Let's say heading 6. Yeah, so now let's save now, and let's check them out. You can see the way they are placed. They are placed according to the way you want to use them. You see, they are ranging from this one is small, this one gets smaller, this one gets smaller, this one gets smaller, this one gets smaller. This is heading 6. Yeah. So guys, creating a website is not something hard or something tough. It's easy to learn, it's easy to practice, and it is easy to follow along. All I just want you guys to, I want you guys to follow up and follow along. And in our next video, we'll be deliberating more, and we'll be creating something much more beautiful pertaining to HTML. About our HTML, the structure, we'll go deeper in our next section. So guys, for now I'll be leaving you guys. So subscribe to my channel at Davido Bliss, and keep tuned in. Thank you.